Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Celestial Council. I hope you guys are doing fabulous, living the best version of your reality. Get up. It is morning time. So we're gonna get into some things. So let's wait until a couple people get in here. Let's wait. Let's wait. It's kind of late. Let's show the video, Jim,
All
because
right, I'm doing it right now.
it is kind of early. Hi, Kemet. What are you doing, Miss Thing? Hmm. You, you just want to be up here while we're talking about spirituality and things of that nature? What are you doing, Miss Thing?
I want to be a part of it.
Girl, I can't even take it. So, good morning. We are here with the 1122 podcast. Celestial risings to everyone. Cosmic awakenings to everyone. Okay, Lilibeth, hello.
Good
How are
morning.
you? Let's get in here. Let's get in here. Okay. I'm going to send this to everybody through their inbox just so they know. Because this is how we get down, okay? You're not going to say that spirit didn't come through and spin the black and tell you a couple times about this transmission. It's not what we're about to do, okay? So, with that being said, we're gonna get yes, Kemet, yes. You are included. Jesus. I don't know what is up with Kemet. Good, been up since 5 a.m. I am ready to hear the universe. I know that is right, okay? Okay, Lilibeth. Listen, guys, she is ready, okay? To hear the universe. Like, are y'all ready to hear the universe? Because I think I'm ready to hear the universe.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say let's go ahead and get on into it.
Little black tea for the throat chakra, especially because Archangel Gabriel is the archangel of the throat chakra, if y'all didn't know, right? For some of you that don't know who Archangel Gabriel is, so a lot of you know him from, Jewish mythology. Good morning, Nelly. Jewish mythology and religious books and things of that nature. I think in the Islam faith or yeah, the Islam faith, I kind of feel
Hmm.
like, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like isn't Gabriel the one that gave Muhammad the book of the Quran? Archangel Gabriel. Can we look that up?
Yeah, I was about to say let's go ahead and look that up.
Yeah, because we don't want to sound dumb, but I kind of feel like I'm 75, 85% sure.
Yes,
That's what happened.
Archangel Gabriel revealed the Quran to the Islamic prophet Muhammad.
Yes, exactly. So, boom. I know I wasn't tripping, right? So, in Christian faith, he's the one that comes to Virgin Mary and it's like,
Hmm.
girl, you pregnant. Okay?
He is the angel of what is supposed to be messages and communication.
Yeah, the messenger of God. That's what his name actually means. So, a lot of you might know Archangel Gabriel through that way. But as I said and stated in the last podcast, I told you that archangels and angels are nothing but different aspects of the consciousness of God. So if you really look, and break down the names of these archangels, then you will get an idea. Because Michael is nothing but the protection and justice of God. Uriel is nothing but the light of God. Gabriel is nothing but the messenger and communicator of God. Um, and I kind of feel like every other angel, Jophiel, the creator or creative of God, like all of these archangels have an aspect of what God holds within itself. Okay? So we are also an extension of those archangels, because if we were made in the image of God, then that means that all of these aspects of God, which are the archangels and the angels and the seraphims and the cherubim, they all have different aspects of what a human mind or consciousness, if you will, or a soul can potentially kind of like portray in that reality or that life or that existence, or you can choose that vibration, just like a lot of us do now. You know, a lot of people choose to. I don't know what happened to Jim. A lot of people choose to kind of like be in certain vibrations and certain frequencies. One day you wake up, you want to be pissed off. The next day you wake up, you want to be happy, right? These are vibrations that you are choosing to be a part of here. Put a one in the comments if you guys understand, overstand, and understand. Good morning, Ari. Good morning, Jazira. Yeah, so right now we're just talking about the different aspects of God and how we call them archangels. And it's only because of different angles of the consciousness of the Most High, which is God, right? I don't know where my co host went, but we're gonna figure it out here, right? But anywho, so some of you might know Archangel Gabriel from him being the communicator and the messenger of God when he sent the message of that Virgin Mary was going to be pregnant, right? Boom, granted. Others of you know him from the Quran. Others of you know him from different Jewish mythologies, as I stated before. But the point is that in the way that we're going to utilize this frequency of this archangel in this transmission, is that we're going to use the vibration of communication in the throat chakra. I'm going to channel Archangel Gabriel because he does have a message of the mental pandemic and how it's going to affect a lot of people and how it has already started, simply because there are a lot of things that are happening in the world within their own reality, um, things that are being challenged, things that are kind of like shaking everybody's like reality and like what is real and what is not. And the people that have not been working on themselves are probably going to go through this energy where it's going to feel like a mental pandemic. It's literally going to look like, feel like, and seem like everybody's losing their fucking mind. So Jem's Wi-Fi went out, which is really interesting. Well, not really, because he's in Florida, so the whole hurricane and all of that is going on. So he's trying to restore the Wi-Fi now. And we need him in this
All right, everybody.
transmission because, sweetheart, he's the mediator between me, the channel, Archangel Gabriel, and you guys. So if you guys have any questions for Archangel Gabriel, you guys can start getting them ready now. But nonetheless, how are you guys doing this morning? I hope everybody's doing great. Yeah, a lot of people came in here thinking that this was like a tarot reading. And it's probably because I didn't change the title. What does the title? Hey,
All right, we back in there.
okay. What does the title of the reading say? I'm confused.
It's still under gender wars versus relationship versus social media.
Uh, that is why. Let me
Yeah, that
set
was
it.
so weird. Everything just completely went off.
That for real? I mean, you are in the middle of the storm.
Yeah, right now it's clear out, but I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I
But we're
mean,
back in here. Hello, everyone.
well, I mean, you do know Archangel Gabriel is the Archangel of Mercury
And
retrograde. So
yeah, I was
there's,
gonna say we in retrograde too.
uh huh. So happy Mercury retrograde, everybody. Um, so yeah, I was just explaining to them the energy of Archangel Gabriel. I was telling them that you're going to be the mediator between them and the questions that they may have.
Okay, yep.
Um, thank God you're back on because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm changing the name of the transmission now
Okay.
because that was weird. I knew that some people were coming in here because I thought they was like a reading or something else. Because I'm like, what is the title of this shit? So boom. Um, so channeling, for some of you that don't know what channeling is, um, I've been doing it since I was a kid. And I was able to channel other entities, other beings, ancestors, archangels. I mean, it kind of like upgraded as the time went on, like as I got older, and the more knowledge that I poured within myself, um, the more that different entities presented themselves, or wanted to like congregate and have conversations. So channeling is not like I'm fucking being possessed or some bullshit. Channeling is more of me being able to raise, so you can understand how it works energetically, is me being able to raise my frequency to a certain frequency where the archangel or the entity or the ancestor or the ascended master or whatever it is that you're channeling can also descend to. So they're ascended, so they have to descend to that energy. I have to
Hmm.
ascend to that energy, and we have to meet in the middle. And when we meet in the middle, it's like a union of consciousness, and they can send me messages telepathically. Sometimes it's different depending on how deep I am in the transmission and whatever it might be. So voices can change, mannerisms can change, features can, like, just how things appear to you, the reality, how you experience it, everything can change. The feeling, the vibration, everything can change. Okay, so I just want you guys to know before I just start channeling some shit and y'all start getting scared, you know.
It's going to
Um,
be an experience, y'all.
well, I mean, Jem experienced it.
Oh yeah. And the first time I experienced it, it was it was different than what they show on TV. It wasn't all the theatrics that they show and things like that. But there are things that you will notice. Facial features did change. The voice as well changed. You'll see for yourself. You people y'all should be able to see the changes.
Right, you guys know me, so you already know how I talk, how I act, and what I do. But um, make sure you guys share the video, like the video, especially if you like this type of content. Because I'm going to be doing this more. I need to expand myself and utilize all aspects of my gifts, not just one. It's not all about tarot and all of that. These ancestors and these archangels and these entities, if you will, sometimes they come in as a collective. Sometimes you'll hear them say "we," and you're like, "Who the fuck is we?" I mean, in the original Bible, it says, "We made you in our image." So it's a
Mhm.
collective of beings that hold the frequency of God consciousness, and you have to understand that if we are all one and we are all an extension of God, then we are all an extension of each other. The only difference is the frequency. The only difference is the personality and the consciousness that that body or that person holds, right? Um, with that being said, we're gonna start. Now I'm getting nervous because this is the first time that I'm doing it publicly. So we're gonna get into some things, and we're going to. Um, I'm gonna explain how it works. I'm gonna go into like some breathing like exercises, and then eventually you'll probably either hear some humming, humming in the sense like, oh, my ear just blocked itself. That was interesting. Um, some humming in the sense of like, or you're gonna either hear that or you'll hear like a high pitch, like me trying to match the pitch that I'm hearing inside of my consciousness to be able to match that frequency of Gabriel, and then he'll just start coming in and talking and saluting everybody and doing what the fuck he does. Okay. So, are you ready, Jim?
Yes, let's go ahead and get into it.
Great. I gotta just bear with me. I gotta get some incense here. I did have some myrrh, but I don't wanna light the charcoal in here because it'll get really smoky. Then people can't really see like what's going on.
Uh,
Okay. Here goes Kemet trying to catch a fly.
I'm gonna say little buddy been active today.
Okay, she really has. Like, she's been very talkative too, which is very interesting because of Archangel Gabriel and the whole
Hmm.
Asian frequency. I mean, she's really always talking, but she's just been very talkative today.
Yeah, I was gonna
Very.
say way more than normal because I heard her. I heard her way more.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna turn the light off because they don't really like artificial light, and then we're just gonna turn it back. And I'm gonna take Kame out so she's not distracting to y'all or to me while I'm channeling because nobody got time. Okay, so Jem, make sure that you're viewing the comments.
Yes, I got them up.
So we're gonna go into prayer and then I'll go into the breathing and potentially the high pitch and whatever's going on or whatever he wants to do. And then we'll see what's going on here. So put your volume down if you have like headphones and shit on. Ooh, spicy. I'm gonna go into prayer. So thank you, Father, Mother God, for waking us up today, allowing us to be an extension of you, understanding, overstanding, and understanding that we're constantly connected to God, source, spiritual guides, archangels, ascended masters, ancestors, anything that is high vibrational. In this instance, the Archangel Gabriel, so we can be able to expand and evolve beyond what we can see in the space and time. Thank you for your love, your wisdom, and support every day. We're nothing without it, and definitely nothing without you. In your humble name, we humbly pray every day. So it be. Thy is the sun, and the sun is me. It is the one, and it is thee. The one that gives us life, polarity, and night. It gives us evolution, polarity, and night. Two lights are derived from the same source. It makes us in its image from the ultimate force. It travels through space and archetypes of mind work here and below. You can also find as above, it is below. When we transcend, we return and we grow. Remind yourself of who you are as you come from the light of God, as you come from the shining star. Salutations to everyone on this transmission. I go by the name of Archangel Gabriel, as you may know by now, as I have been introduced by the channel on this transmission. Hello, Jem. How are you?
Hi, Archangel. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Today I'm doing good. Nice seeing you, talking to you again.
Yes, likewise for us here, as we appreciate all of the work that you have been doing, not only for yourself, but that of which you are trying to expand to others,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
of course.
All
So
right,
here,
welcome everybody. Sorry about
here
that, Archangel. Go ahead.
we come here today on this transmission to thank you for sharing the time and space of this experience to be able to download information, if you will, a message, if you will, revelation, prophecy, whatever you want to call them, as many humans like to label things. So we find that very funny, um, as God is labelless, it has no label. So we understand that you operate in the dimension or density of ego and materialism, but some of you have lost yourself in that frequency. So the reason why we are here, and as we, I mean the angelic realm, is because we need you to start tapping into other aspects of yourselves. For instance, if you look at it from a stance of astrology, a lot of you are still categorizing yourself as a sun sign, which is your ego. You refrain from looking at other aspects of yourself because it challenges the very core of who you've been working so hard to become according to the perspectives, traumas, generational cycles of those who raised you or you've been connected to throughout your lifetime. Make sense?
Uh, I am going to start off with a question, and one of those questions, giving time for the viewers to go ahead and comment. Please feel free to go ahead and comment any questions you would like me to relay to Archangel Gabriel. Are you? Can you explain the whole sun sign representing ego, and then what sign should we pay more attention to now?
Well, for you to overstand, understand, and understand what is really going on with a birth chart is you being able to understand that your birth chart is nothing but a picture of where all the placements of the planets are and in what sign they are in. These signs are nothing but the archetypes of this planet and what a consciousness can hold. In a body, if you will, or within you, if you will, or a human, if you will. You need to understand or overstand, as we say, that all of these different aspects make up how you create reality. So, for instance, you have Libra, which is justice, you have Gemini, which is communication, you have Aquarius, which is the humanitarian energy, and you have different spectrums, high and low, within this one sign of that one archetype. So you can be a humanitarian but still be a narcissistic humanitarian because you only do it for self validation or, i.e., your ego. Correct?
Okay.
And you have other people who will do it to embrace the human consciousness collective vibration and the vibration of unconditional love to pass on messages to help others ascend, to help them upgrade themselves or whatever have you. Now, going back to your question, you have to kind of not focus on one aspect of your chart. All aspects of your chart are telling a story of that part of your soul, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you need to listen to these stories that are being told through these placements, through these planets on your chart. Now, your sun sign represents your ego because it's the brightest thing in space. It's the things that give light, food, uh, even water, because it has to create the right temperature on the planet for there to be water to begin with, right? So you have to start understanding how everything is interconnected for you to understand how the sun sign placement represents your ego. It's the sign or the frequency that puts everything in the light. When you go out into society, you want to show the best parts of you, don't you?
Mm,
You
okay.
never go and say, well, I'm a liar and I do this and I'm a manipulator and I'm a narcissist. You tell everyone the best parts of yourself. That is what your sun sign is, your ego. It's what you use to be aware of yourself, but also what you use to protect yourself from how you connect with the external outer world, which is very funny because you're not realizing that you're actually creating it. Who you come in contact with, what you're doing, what you're manifesting, what happens, and what doesn't. Does
That
anyone
answered.
have any questions?
I was gonna say that answered that question. And that actually gonna lead into my next question when you talk about frequencies and energies. Um, are there any particular frequency or energies that we should definitely steer clear from? being that this world is actually moving more towards their frequency being raised and with the change that is actually happening.
It's hilarious how in the outside world you can hear the horn or the beeping of something backing up as you ask the question of, is there anything we should steer clear from or back up from? There is nothing that you should back up from, as every vibration, frequency, emotion, experience, or whatever you want to call them are an extension of God. Every frequency, vibration in existence has a purpose, as every color, as every sound, as every word, as everything you say, as everything you think, as everything you do, as everything you don't. It all has a frequency and it all comes from source. There is nothing that you should steer clear from. If you feel there's something you need to steer clear from, a vibration, situation, relationship, connection, whatever have you, collective, you have to understand that you are done with that cycle of that vibration. It doesn't make it any less good or bad. Is that you are no longer in the vibration of learning anything from that frequency or density, if you will. Make sense?
Yes. Good morning, Maritza. All right. And being that the angel of you are the angel of messages and communication, how can we strengthen the ability to communicate? Because that's one of the a lot of things that me myself and I know a lot of people they struggle with. They struggle with the ability to communicate.
Well, let's start with the notion and the truth that the reason why you are all afraid to communicate is because it's stemmed in your DNA. Your truth has been suppressed for so long. Your ability to express the freedom of expression has been suppressed for so long. You've been taught to believe everything that's fed to you and not what comes from within. Strengthening your communication with source or any entity or any ancestor or anything inside of you starts with you being able to communicate with yourself. A lot of you still don't even know if what you're thinking is your ego, yourself, your insecurity, or your shadow self, or your higher self, or your feminine self, or your masculine self, or your inner child. This is why we are driving you to accept the spiritual journey so you can tap into all aspects of yourself and frequencies and consciousnesses of yourself so you can be able to determine and have this flow of communication that you speak of. Now, we also want to say that communication is a choice. And you've been in a part of history where you've been told to be quiet, to shut up, to not say anything, whether it was governmental issues, family issues, financial issues, rape issues, violence issues. You've always been told to suppress the truth for one reason or the other. Now, in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of truth, you will have no choice but to reveal and to say what you think and what you feel.
Hmm.
This is why you see a lot of exposure on lies and manipulations with your government, the media, and even within your own communities with the people, situations and relationships that are going on behind closed curtains that nobody can see. Make sense?
Oh yeah, because nowadays I can't really I can't say I can't. For me, it's easier now just to tell the truth than to sit here and try to think of a lie to try to come up with. So I definitely understand that.
Well,
Um,
you lie the first time, you have to keep chasing the lie to uphold that reality.
hmm That's why it's just like I'm. If you don't like the truth that I gotta say, oh well. Sorry, it's gonna come out anyway. You brought up government, and I was one of the actually, and it's funny because the answers are going into the next questions that I actually do want to ask. Um, we speak about government, and lately a lot of things, events has been happening. Can you give us more insight into the events that the human consciousness as a collective should be ready for, get ready for, and how can we go ahead and get ready for those events?
Well, we say to you that before you want to experience any more unity, there will be more separation. For there to be the want and the need of unity, there will have to be more separation. You have to get ready for the idea of separation. Cities, people. This is why you see so many people wanting to buy land and go into the wilderness or back to nature, if you will. It's only because the human consciousness or consciousness collective energy vibration or ethers around the planet, if you will, collectively, they are feeling, um, well, they, it's you, all of you, you're feeling the need to find your own security separate from that of what has been created as an illusion for you to think that is unity as the United States of America. A lot of you are going to be exposed to a lot of manipulations, lies, and it doesn't matter in what aspect. We're not only just talking governmental, we're also talking religiously. We're also talking these religious leaders. We're talking a lot of these people that a lot of you look up to. You've seen it with the celebrity world. Now you're going to start seeing it with the politicians. You're going to start seeing it with actors. You're going to start seeing it with directors. You're going to start seeing it with those humanitarians, even leaders of peace in your world, because they have been trying to uphold and upkeep an illusion that keeps you suppressed within a certain type of density in consciousness that doesn't allow you to experience your whole self. Now, the reason why this transmission is called mental pandemic is because in the age of truth, everything that you know, if it hasn't been happening already, it will be challenged. There is no running from it, there is no hiding from it. Religions, governments, relationships, family dynamics, generational curses, everything in how you perceive it will be challenged. The mental pandemic is all about how everyone will have to go through a mental reset to be able to accept the new light codes information and the downloads of truth that are going to be shining through the atmosphere of this planet. Do you have any more questions?
Actually, I don't. I'll open the floor to anybody that is watching, any viewers. Take this opportunity to go ahead and ask any questions. I'll go ahead and relate it.
With that being said, for all of you, the message that we leave you with from the angelic realm is to double check everything that you've been told. Even through this transmission, You will see that my channel had to go through the internet to be able to see the truth of what they were saying to you, so they do not feed you fraudulent information. Now, notice how a lot of you live in the era of truth and information, and you are the first generation to have instant access to any truths, facts, or books, information, experiences in history, past, and even foretold futures as people as myself, and you still don't tap into that information. A lot of you are still stuck on low vibrational television transmitted programs. Some of you are still trying to numb yourself through low vibrational substances, as herbs, liquors, lifestyles, ways of living, numbing yourself from the overworking of your body, mind, soul, and even your emotions to a certain extent because of work, these relationships, and some of the social norms a lot of you have become accustomed to. Our question to you is, aren't you tired of not knowing what the truth is? The answer we know is that you are exhausted. But the funny thing is that a lot of you still don't want to seek the truth. And the reason why is because it's going to shatter your consciousness, and you are afraid of starting all over. Like any relationship, like any course, like any child that does not excel to the next grade and has to repeat the same one. You are afraid, you are angry, you are deceived, and you are very uncomfortable with the fact that a small group of people were able to manipulate you, not only mentally, but spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Because look at the state of how everyone wants to change how they look. It's okay to want to decorate and to paint and to do certain things, but as a human collective, you have taken it to a new height of third dimensional density behavior, if you will. And a lot of you are cutting yourselves and not loving yourselves and recalibrating things that were meant to help you channel your chakras and your mind and your soul, if you will. A lot of you are altering your bodies and your minds and your emotions to that of the will of what you call devil energy, which is the people that you give your power to every day.
Mm,
Any questions?
no. And I thank you for that, because that was actually some of the things that you tapped into. Um, I was going to ask, did any of the angels or you yourself have any messages, and you actually just tapped into that. So thank you for that.
You are very welcome. As we close this transmission, I would like to say that it was a pleasure to be here with all of you and experience this space in time. Now, I won't be leaving as I feel there is something else that needs to be said here.
Mm,
A lot of you are going to experience in this lifetime the fall of religion. A lot of you in this lifetime are going to experience the first war of its kind, and it's the war of your consciousness. A lot of you feel like it's a civil war, and it is not. It is a war of consciousness and how you perceive reality and those that have you in their control. A lot of you will release yourselves consciously from the suppression and imprisonment of this kind of what you call the matrix. as there is a bigger matrix at play, celestially and created by the Most High. As the Earth School is a matrix or a construct within itself, if you will, to allow you as a soul to come and learn about your vibrations and frequencies and emotions so you can be a master at being a creator. Now, the people at B know this, and they have been suppressing you for thousands of years by altering stories, altering the truth, altering the very nature of what you are, who you are, and where you and what you come from, as none of you are from here. Now, we are all an extension of each other. If it's you, it is me. I am talking to myself in this transmission as you are only an experience and an extension of us. We love you. We are always there. And another thing we want to say is that we will start to make ourselves more present and available and seen. Now, if a lot of you are doubting and questioning the existence of channeling and archangels and that of that nature or spirituality, all you have to do is go into the Bible or the book that you so believe in. I love you. We love you. We are nothing but an extension and higher vibration and frequency of you. Remember that. Experience that. Don't forget it. You are not separate from God as you are it incarnate. We love you. And Ad Astra, peace be with you. And we'll see you next time. Oh my God. It took a while for me to open my eyes.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh my God. Guess what, guys? My eyes not twitching. That's a good thing.
I was gonna say last time, yeah, I was switching right off the bat.
Right after that, it felt better. It felt like a better flow. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed whatever Gabriel was talking about. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
I was gonna ask you, were you present or are you gonna have?
I feel like I'm floating.
Mm,
I feel like I'm in between. There's a lot of things that Archangel Gabriel didn't want to expose because this is what he's telling me now because a lot of people aren't consciously ready yet. They still have to see certain things that are about to play out with the elections and with the religious leaders and things that are about to be exposed before
yeah, I
we
was gonna
go.
say he touched on the fall of religion, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, and it's happening. That's why you see a
Yeah,
lot of people trying to recruit, and it's because they see less and less and less people in the church, and it's because a lot of people are sick and tired of not being in control of their own spirituality and being able to find God within their own means, in their own way, in their, and this is what spirit wants to happen, because like I he said something about unity and separation. He said something about that, right?
that there's going to have to be a separation before the whole unity can even take place. Like the separation is going to have to take place. And the crazy thing is, I never thought about it that way. And there's like this saying where you have to. It just reminded me of like, so the prime example I'm gonna use is like the whole eagle story of how the bird flies through the storm just to get over the storm, and once they're over the storm, it's all bright, sunny, and they're able to fly with no issue. And it just reminded me of that, like, ooh, so we're gonna have to keep going through the hard times, and that's why hard times are happening. the separation is also happening. Is it's in a way in order to bring us back.
Well, yeah, because even when you look at like these journeys and testimonies, if you will, like when you're talking about the church, right? Like when you fucking see these stories and shit, like they're like, I was at my worst and I didn't believe in God and blah blah blah. Like, we're
Hmm.
not saying religion doesn't work. What we're saying is that, and then here they go. What they're saying is that religion is very limiting. It doesn't help you expand to what your full potential really is. This is why you don't see a lot of people in the church healing and doing miracles, and it's because they're limited.
Yeah,
It brings you
it
only to
puts
a
a
place of
limit.
ego.
Hmm.
It creates more separation than it creates more unity. Because even they tell you that God is separate from you, God is not inside of you. They tell you God is inside of you, but as soon as you start having prophetic dreams and shit, oh no, it can't be because it's not them.
Yeah, I was gonna say they contradict it because they say, oh, God is in you, God is with us, but then at the same time, you can't speak to God. You got to come to me, and then I'll go to God and speak for you. What?
You know what I'm saying? When God just says, "Go in the closet in the darkness and just talk to me, and we'll be all right." You know what I mean? Like, and this is the problem that I have with religion personally, as a person, not even like channeling. It's more of like it's very limiting. And I'll tell you a story. Like, I used to go to church all the time. I was called to go to church, and now that I'm older, now I see why I was called to go to church because Spirit was trying to show me how I was so consciously more evolved than the stories that were being told. So I'm sitting
Mm,
there one day at Saturday school, because it wasn't even Sunday school, it was on Saturday, Catholic church, right? So boom, we're sitting there, we're having these stories, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just like asking questions. I'm like, you in this story, you keep saying that God is perfect and that everything He made was perfect. But if everything, and I asked him, I said, if everything was so perfect, why is it such a problem that Eve ate the apple? You made everything perfectly. They were made perfectly, and you're perfect. So why did you create an imperfect situation? And this is the problem that they have, is because when you start asking these questions, it brings you to more questions.
yeah, yeah.
And the reason why is because God is so ever expansive. There is no limit on God. God is the beginning and God is the motherfucking end. Everything in between is a whole fucking plethora of things that you can fucking research, look up, and it's all gonna be tied to God. Why? Because God is everything.
Hmm.
God is the devil. God was Eve. God was Adam. God was the sun. God was the clouds. God is in everything. And this is what a lot of you are still not understanding. You're trying to separate everything. And this is why they say more separation needs to happen for you to want and need the vibration of unity. Because
Yeah, because a
God
lot of people
is
are
unity.
not. They're not ready for that conversation where it comes
You're not
to.
ready for the conversation
Mm-mm,
because are you really ready for unity? You're still judging people like me. You're still wanting to kill blacks. You're still wanting to treat people like shit. You're still
hmm.
judging what other people are doing with their lives and how they're doing it and how they're raising their children and what the like you want peace and unity, but you don't see what it takes to get it.
People
It
ain't ready
takes
for that.
you
Mm-mm.
from separating from all of your fucking egotistical ways of fucking thinking. And what it's gonna take is this fucking mental pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm so ready. I'm open.
Hmm.
I'm so open minded. I'm ready for this conversation. I like this energy in people like you because there needs to be more people like you.
Yeah, I was gonna say there needs to be more people that has an open mind, and it's crazy because I have conversations. I would like to say I used to have conversations daily with my actual brother, where I even tell him, and we have this agreement where I understand and I respect where he comes from as far as, his religious belief and his understanding, and the same thing vice versa. Is like we are able to sit down and have certain conversations because it's like I respect and I understand where you come from. You understand and respect where I come from. And thing is, like, a lot of people ain't ready to have that conversation. Everything comes from source. Who is source? That's the God that y'all like to refer to, but it's it's the
Everything,
source of everything.
like
Source of
it's
good,
so
source of
dumb.
bad, source of like. evil, like, but they're not ready for that conversation. Why they don't want to? A lot of people don't want to acknowledge the fact that we do have good and negative energies inside of us. Everybody just wants to assume and try to be like, oh, I'm just perfect and I want to live a perfect, peaceful, sin free life. Hmm.
And it's funny because those are the religious people. When you start seeing them in the church, they're like, I live this perfect life and I'm so perfect. They're the ones going through the most. That's why they tell you that, oh, when you're the most saint, like when you're the most pure, that's when the devil follows you the most. That's fucking bullshit. That's because you're ignoring all of your dark nature.
Yep.
That's why
Yep.
you see the pastor fucking this person and doing that to little kids, and then the fucking lady of the church is fucking the fucking pianist, and it's like that's why you see all of this shit happening.
And it's
It's
crazy because
because
you will look at the pastors, you look at the preachers up on the pulpit, and a lot of people believe. And then there's a shock when all this stuff comes out, and it's like that's where a lot of people fall, is because y'all put so much faith into these pastors and preachers, and y'all forget that they're us. And the same thing that they're doing up there, we have the ability to do it ourselves. We have the ability to touch within ourselves and talk to the God within.
just like
But
Archangel Gabriel said, because he's telling me he said something about y'all want proof. Go look at the fucking Bible y'all be talking about. All of these stories are in there. You're not reading them for yourselves. You're letting somebody read it to you conveniently to their convenience. Like, and that's the problem, is that you're not
mm,
reading these stories. The stories of these archangels and extraterrestrials and people channeling shit, and the apostles being able to heal people and resurrect people too, and actually channel and messages and all of that. What the fuck you thought they was doing when they was talking to a burning bush? Channeling a fucking message.
it was just the bush is the same thing as tarot users.
Tarot
It was
user
an
reading the
object.
fucking candle. It's the same shit, bro. I
Burning
went to
bush is an
the park.
object.
I went to the park the other day and I was literally sitting there and I touched it and I was just like in this like so serene vibration, and I like noticed, I was like, oh shit, oh my god, like I got like mad downloads. I have so many readings that I have to do just by touching that tree. Like, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. The elements, other people, even other people's lives, you should see them as stories, like just how you see the movies and shit that you can resonate with, that you can learn from. Stop judging other people's shit and learn from it.
Yeah.
Instead of
Because
being like, why are you
it
so
might
fake?
not be the same. It might not be the same journey or same story that you're going through, but is you can take some lessons from other people's stories.
This is what not to do. This
Yeah.
is what not to say. This is, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to learn from other people's experiences. And this is
And
why
on
you
the other hand of that, and what I just received on the other hand of that, is a lot of people have to separate. Here comes the word separate. They have to separate their lives from other people's story. Stop
yeah.
focusing on what other people are going through and actually focus on what you're going through.
Or
Yeah, of
maybe
course,
other people.
take the lessons that their lives that are showing you, take that as a lesson, but don't take it on as your story. Don't take it on as your life.
This is the thing. She said, this is why I have no friends. This is an illusion. And I'm going to tell you why. This is ego based. And I'm going to tell you why it's ego based. I have no friends. Well, you're creating the separation when you're telling God that you want unity and you want everybody to be great and want to be everybody to be high vibration and want to be this and want to be that. But you're creating the separation and you're like, this is why I have no friends. Because if you're the highest vibration within this family unit or these friends, then you should be teaching them how unity works, not creating more separation and separating yourself from what needs unity. Because you are the unity vibration. You understand? So now, of course, we don't need friends because beyond this fucking bullshit, we're all family and we all come from the same.
Hmm.
Whether you're a stranger or not, this is how unity begins. I'd rather stick to myself and surround myself with positive people. Well, that's a contradiction within itself. Because if you'd rather stick to yourself, then you don't surround yourself with people.
And I was gonna say positive people end up becoming your friends. And that's the thing, and I'm not gonna lie,
Because you said you have
I used to
friends.
have that mindset where I'm like, oh, I'd rather have no friends, and then I changed it to I'd rather just stick myself around positive people. And the crazy thing is I don't even have to push people away no more. I don't physically or even consciously push people away no more. It's just the vibration, the frequency that I'm at, it brings certain people to me.
See, but this comment right here is validating the point you just made, right? And that I just made. Because if you're the highest vibration, you need to understand as the highest vibration. This is why I say it's egotistical. As the highest vibration, that, like he just said, you cannot make everybody else's part of your story just because they're going through something or they're being negative and saying negative shit. You're looking at it as negative instead of looking at it as information you can utilize to better the situation, to be enlightened enough to say this is just where they are, this is just how they are. Don't take it personal. Yes, it's negative, and I don't want to be around it all the time. But at the end of the day, I have to learn how to transmute the energy. Take the negative energy and turn it into positive energy. For instance, if my best friend is coming to me and they're like, "Oh, have you heard this fucking thing?" And I'm not in the mood to hear negative shit, I'd be like, "I don't want to hear it." If it's nothing positive, I don't want to hear it. I just transmuted that negative energy she was about to bring or he was about to bring to me, and I just turned it into something positive. Or I
Yeah.
change the subject, or I do this, or I do that. Now, if you are with people that will rebuttal that and still want to talk something negative, then these people are only a reflection of how you don't even um, go by your own boundaries.
Ooh, say that again.
It just means how you go against your own boundaries. These people are only a reflection of you. Everything that you're attracting, if these people are negative, these people are probably a reflection of where you was in your past.
And it's crazy that you said that, and we're talking about this because yesterday I wanted to make a post and Source stopped me, and now Source is giving me that go ahead because I didn't know how to type it. And it was basically stating Source revealed to me of how a tree has leaves,
Hmm.
and there's there ain't not one leaf on that tree that is the same. You're gonna look at it, you can find every leaf and there's gonna be something different. We are all leaves on
Hmm.
different branches, but a part of the same tree. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that sink in for a
Well, wait,
little.
wait, wait. Hence the tree of life.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let that sink in a little. Every leaf is different, but it's still a part of that same tree.
And it's coming from the same roots. Wherever you look at it from the bottom, root chakra, which is the lowest vibration, which is the devil, to the
Hmm.
highest point of the tree, which is love, which is God, it all comes from the same entity. It's the same fucking tree. And then we're in between, which are the branches, the leaves, and the fruit that comes from it.
We're just
Understand?
different aspects, experiencing different versions.
Yes. Now, I feel like we made our point. This is not going to be the only transmission that we do with Archangel Michael. There are other transmissions that we will
Oh, I
do.
guess Archangel Michael is next because we spoke with Gabriel today.
Oh, I said Michael. Well, look at that. Archangel Michael, the justice of the human conscious collective. That's interesting. Which a lot of that's going to be talking about a lot of your demons. So, um, that's going to be interesting. I hope that you guys enjoyed this transmission. This is
Yes.
something new. Enjoy it. Like I said, don't judge it. Take it with a grain of salt. Go and look up the things that Gabriel talked about. You know, educate yourselves. I think he even said that. He's like I said that.
Yeah.
And you're living in the age of information. Go fucking be useful and go read something.
And the same thing that, because the same thing that we did before we even said hard fact that, Gabriel was the one that gave the Quran to Muhammad. Even Gabriel said it, and he pointed out we had to look it up.
Yeah.
So if anything that you're like questioning, Google is your friend.
Yes, most definitely. For you guys that actually want extra content, um you can go to patreon.com/slash the Hierophant Joey for these transmissions. They do be uploaded up there and on YouTube and here on Facebook. Private readings, the link will be there. TikTok will be there, YouTube is there, everything is there. I love you guys so much. I hope that this helped in some way, shape, or form. Especially, they didn't want to create fear, they just wanted to create something informative so you can be able to see the information that's going on. I love you guys so deeply, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye, collective.